So the other thing is with supercomputing, there's always a lot of buzz going around and anything. So I'd say, is there anything else you'd like to impart to the Linux Magazine audience, which is more technical than most? So if there's something you want to say about platform computing, what your product, I know we didn't mention anything about cloud, and I noticed you had some press releases about that. Maybe there's some information you want to impart in that direction.
Andre kind of purposely didn't want to use the word cloud in some respect. It's a slogan, but what's really behind it? And I definitely would say that from a HPC community perspective, I think it is correct that a lot of the essence of cloud computing were pioneered by clustering the clustering community and by the grid community, and all that experience shows itself the way a lot of organizations, a lot of HPC organizations deliver their IT service. It is basically IT as a service. HPC computing as a service, and so now with all the attention with respect to the word cloud, what we have the opportunity with the grid community, the HPC community, is to make it much more concrete. The idea of delivering application as a service. Nobody can show the number of proof points more than the HPC market and the HPC community, user community has done, and so that's what we're gravitating towards. And with respect to platform computing, we do see the underlying essence of cloud computing, that delta between grid and grid cluster and cloud, being making the infrastructure much more dynamic, right? So it's not static, and having that driven by workload is delivering in some ways to the ultimate vision we've always had. And a lot of people, when they think about cloud, they think about external cloud, they think about public cloud, and an extension of that is also inside the HPC community, and this idea of clustering 3.0, also doing cloud bursting is a natural extension of that. So while we talk about cluster and kind of in a box within your IT organization, the whole stack offer, from foundation, infrastructure foundation, to workload management, to MPI, right up to application center, that is delivering software as a service. It's a great example of true application cloud computing, and that can be for internal resources as well as cloud bursting out to external resources. So I think as we've seen in the past, the HPC and grid and clustering market is really showing the proof point and the leadership on basically a fundamental shift in computing paradigm.
I think you're right, and that the joke kind of was going around, well, cloud is just grid, but it's easier to use. and to a degree, I think that's correct. And as I alluded to earlier, the more traditional cloud, where you get an OS virtualization somewhere, is a little bit different than an HPC cloud. And I really believe that as we go forward, we're going to see HPC as a service because of the software that platform is developing, where a smallish company, rather than getting a cluster and finding somebody to run it and install software, can go to a bigger company and say, here's what I need, and it'll be as simple as submitting the application and everything will take care of itself. So and I think that was the idea behind grid, and we're finally getting there. So and I think it's because of things like platform has been doing, and HPC community that help shape that message, and the way things are can happen in the future. So any product announcements for the show that you specifically want to mention? Again,
starting with the infrastructure layer, with the platform cluster management solution, support for multi-boot, upcoming support for SUSE as well as Red Hat, upcoming support for virtualization all in a box. That's the foundational layer. And then above that is a new product that we're calling Platform ISF. And that's the layer that will glue the workload scheduler with the infrastructure arms and legs. And that's where the intelligent workload-driven dynamic reprovision of infrastructure based on workload demand happens. That's where the brains happen. So that's our Platform ISF product, and there is a version of Platform ISF that is specifically targeting towards HPC users called Platform ISF Adaptive Cluster. And the reason we produce that is because there's just so much more advantages with working within an HPC environment because we know the applications, we have the ISV support, we have our own MPI, including the recent acquisition of HP MPI, and also the delivery of a application self-service portal that we are announcing and calling it Platform Application Center, which out of the box is easy to use, finally easy to use grid computing, as you call it. And basically, people come to the portal, and if they want to run Fluent, they can just click it, and then all the things in the back end, the MPI, setting up the MPI, submission into LSF, driving the reprovisioning of the infrastructure to deliver to the resource requirement of the application is all done in the back end. The user doesn't need to know any of that. So we're very excited that at this point in time that we have a chance, a lot of it through our working with our customers and also working with our partners and working with the community, user communities, bring all of this together as one integrated stack that hopefully will drive a lot of value and lead the HPC market forward.
So you pretty much own the stack the whole way up, and that's a very good position to be in.
And just to close the whole loop, and I got a lot of it is we work very closely with customers, right? I mean, without customers, you're not really delivering anything, not validating anything. So we're partners. I mean, customers really treat them as partners, and then partners are also great entities to work with, right? To actually, push the envelope. And one of that also involves working with service providers. And we're working with a number of customers on expanding this private application cloud to also be able to tap into things like Amazon EC2. So it's a whole ecosystem play, and again, it's just really exciting right now with all the customer interest and working with partners together to realize HPC cloud computing.
Well, I want to wish you a good show, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more about Platform as we move forward. And keep that in mind, Cluster 3.0. Thank you.